Right. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Electrical Essence, and I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in and listening. And today's broadcast, I'm going to actually discuss a couple of different things. I want to discuss passions and the lack of, and I also want to talk about birth chart readings and also the accelerated rise of just the occult and how it just seems to be just coming out the woodworks, and it's surprising to kind of just sit back and just to watch. It just seems like it happened overnight, and I always try to think back to that one point where it just seemed like it just erupted, and it's kind of hard for me to do because it seemed like for like the past year I have been so engulfed in my own stuff and my own life and my own growth and everything, to where I didn't really start really looking outward until a few months in this year. So when I think back to last year around this time, um around this time, oh, it was interesting. I do remember September of last year. This was the month that my oldest sister had passed away. This was around the time that I was still in the beginning stages of learning Vedic astrology. Um, and I know that September of this time last year, I I was like head deep just in learning Eastern astrology. I wasn't really researching anything outside of that. Everything was always surrounding anything that has to do with Eastern astrology, Hindu astrology, Vedic. I mean, just it was all my studying and everything was geared towards that. And I do know like the times that I would look into any type of Western astrology or look into anything that was non-astrology, wasn't really so much geared towards the outside world. I was very focused on myself and very focused on my studies and and just things that were like in my immediate surrounding. So I think by the time I did bring my head out of the ground, I was just kind of like I just have this mental picture of a bird with its head in the ground, and then it bringing its head out of the ground, and like the whole world has completely like advanced and changed, and it's just kind of like, what the fuck. I mean, I feel exactly like that, kind of like the dodo bird. I'll admit, I feel like the fucking dodo bird who has had their head in the ground for the last who knows how many fucking centuries, and then finally pulls its head out of the fucking ground, or pulls its head out of its ass, and the whole world has changed. And and that's basically kind of like what I feel like, not so much now, but like a few months ago, whenever I did start to kind of look at other things, look at other people's perspective and look at other people's wiring and what's going on in their world, and just all the different diverse stuff that's going on. And it's just like, shit, I think I may have had my head in the ground fucking too long, and I'm still kind of just shocked, So when I think back to last year around this time, I I was really, more so than anything, kind of, stuck on myself. And then now that I'm coming out of that programming and kind of starting to look a little bit more outward into the world, it's just there's so much that's going on. And 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 I'm not even exactly sure. I I guess I'm still processing a lot of it, but I remember about 6 months ago, it had to have been about 6 months ago, maybe a little bit less. I was looking into the new conspiracy theories and stuff that's going on, especially like on YouTube, and they were just so crazy, and they were so far fetched. I was just sucked into it because I love conspiracy theories. And one of my most favorite conspiracy theories that I really got into, well, the Mandela effect. That was interesting. Um, oh, the ones that talk about like the Earth's placement. Um, anything that had to do with the Earth, anything that had to do with the moon, just the really just the crazy conspiracy theories with those. And a lot of times with conspiracy theories, what I like to do is like I have to like put myself in that place, like kind of like think in that mode, and I think there was like a good week there where I have to entertain the thought. You have to entertain the thought to be able to really understand it from that point of view, but you have to also to be able to understand too that it's a theory. It doesn't necessarily mean it's true, but it's still fun to play around with. But the one that I really liked the most though was the moon being a hologram. And 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 I always have to talk with Shane about these different theories and stuff like that that I was coming across on YouTube. But with the moon being a hologram, and of course, he's like poking all these different holes into it, and I'm trying to like come up with all these different concepts or these different theories to basically fill up the little holes that he's poking into, when it came to that theory. But even now, whenever I look up at the moon, and we're out there and it goes through a cloud or something like that, I'd be like, oh, there's a glitch, and you change batteries, but that one was that one will still be my favorite. And then the other one that I really liked was the Earth basically being, well, I can't say timeline. Timeline jumping. That's not quite the term. Basically, that the Earth has been basically thrown to the other side of the galaxy, and that was fun. Um, Kind of mess around with that one. Um, a lot of the conspiracy theories, they were quite entertaining. But then after a while, it's like, okay, you go through so many videos, and they're like, okay, now this is it's not funny anymore. It's just now starting to get kind of retarded, and it's I don't know. It's something I still kind of like to go back and still kind of look into the different conspiracy theories. And then the Mandela effect. That one is, I don't know about that one. I did a little bit of research into the Mandela effect, my own type of research into the Mandela effect, and looking up the different changing in the symbolisms, different changing in phrases and words and all of that. And that one's kind of up in the air. I don't know quite how I feel about that one. So I just kind of like leave it as is. If I'm unsure about something, I just kind of just set it down and just kind of back away until I get some more information before I can even form an opinion. Um, and a lot of the stuff that I do research, like for fun, like my fun research, is it's mental entertainment more than anything, and sometimes like even discussing it like with some people, like, because some people, they really do deeply believe in a lot of those conspiracy theories, and then there's other people who they don't believe in it, but they have a way of just tearing it down and tearing it apart, and I can respect that too. But what I love the most about conspiracy theories, and all of them, especially alien ones, anything have to do with Earth, anything has to do with people. I mean, just any of them, is like the people that do take the time to make the videos, or take the time to put the research together, or take the time to put in their data of research into the conspiracy theories of whatever theme it or whatever title or whatever it is that they're working with. Is It's a lot of passion. That is probably one of the most beautiful things ever in the world, is for somebody to take something and put passion into it, put their flair into it, put their whole, just their essence of their being into it, and that is something that is so lacking right now, is passion. People are not fucking passionate anymore. There is like that small percentage of people who are deep into expressing their passions, and expressing their passions into who they are as a soul, and who they are as a human being, and who they are as that whole unique style of their own personal vibration. But it's such a small number when that number should be so much more. And nothing breaks my heart than to be around people that are so talented and so diverse, in so many different artistic things, like music and drawing and writing, and just there's just endless things that they're just so creatively like just excelled in, and not to do anything with it, and for people to be so talented and not do anything with it, and I understand there's a difference between, being talented in something and having a passion for something, but it's there's so many people that are just so stuck in that robotic mode, and I really hate the robotic mode of the sixth house. I really do that every day of our habits, like they get into like this routine, and it's just like it's people get up, and they eat, and they go to work, and this and that, and it's just like the same thing all the time. They work and they come home, and there's like nothing. It's like, what part of the day are you going to allow yourself just to be yourself? What part of the day is not part of your programming and is not part of your sixth house slavery? What part of the day are you going to take and be like, okay, this is what I want to do because this makes me happy, or this is what I'm going to do because I'm passionate about it, or this is what I'm going to do because it expresses who I am. And people are not passionate anymore. People just take their passions and just throw it on the back burner and just let it just sizzle away, and I understand that life has a way of getting in the way, but it's the type of life. Whose life? What part of that life are you allowing to get into the way? And there's so much more that we could be doing in our lives, and we don't. Like people that are passionate about writing. Like I know so many people that are amazing writers, and they have amazing skills when it comes to writing, but they don't take that time to write, and I'm guilty of this. I am so guilty of this because I'm, I'm a writer, and I'm very good at writing, and I'm very diverse in different styles of writing. My favorite type of writing though is I love symbolic writing. Um, but I need to find time to do my writings, but I've been doing other things that I'm passionate about, so I kind of I get a get out of free jail card when it comes to that. But like people that I know that are really passionate about writing, but they don't take time to write. I mean, even if you were just to take like an hour out of your day to write, and just imagine what you can do in that hour every day for 7 days a week, and then people that do want to write books, and people that do want to write scripts, or people that could be the next world best-selling author, they don't do it, and that's the type of shit that breaks my heart. Or people that are painters, people that can like take a canvas and some paint and just make the most beautiful thing ever just off the top of their head, just freestyling it, and but they don't make time for that kills me too. That just like totally blows me away, because if I could if I could be that form of a writer, or not writer, I'm sorry, a form of an artist, I would totally do it. I would be like all over it, you know. So, getting to like birth charts. Like when I look at birth charts, I have a new thing that I'm gonna start researching into, but and I collect a lot of birth charts because I kind of need diverse ones to look at, when I'm comparing and doing the different types of research that I do, especially when I'm working on a certain project. But like when I pull up birth charts, I pull up some of the most amazing birth chart. Like it just floors me, and I look at the birth chart and I look at the person. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing with your life? You're just fucking wasting away. You're wasting your fucking life away, And I just some people, I just want to shake the fucking shit out of them. I do. I just want to shake the shit out of them because there's so much more they could be doing, or they're so talented, or they have all these different skills, but they ain't doing shit, And especially these people that have these hardcore stellums, And like one birth chart kind of sticks out in mind. This person has a 5 planetary stellum in the first house, and they are doing somewhat like a large percentage of what they're doing does reflect in their chart, but when they could be doing so much more, it just sometimes the more charts I get, the more depressed it makes me, because it's like because my chart is nothing fucking special, let me tell you. It is nothing fucking special compared to these charts that I'd be getting. And I got one of the most interesting charts the other day, and it was a type of chart that I've never seen before. And I'm excited. I can't wait to research it, to break it down a little bit more, because I get to learn something new. Like, that's like my most favorite thing in the world. Like, two of my most favorite things in the world is to laugh and to learn something new. And so I'm kind of eager to get in there and kind of dissect it apart. But I always try to do something that I'm passionate about. That is something that I've made myself, promised myself, that I will always incorporate what I'm passionate about into my life, and that it will always be first, like my passions, and that's what keeps me happy, is doing the things that I'm passionate about. And one thing that I am highly passionate about is astrology and birth charts and researching and learning and understanding. It's one of the many things that I'm very passionate about, and there's a long list of things I'm passionate about, but the ones that I care the most about, I keep those at the top of the list. And now I'm kind of coming to the point where I need to start rotating out those passions. Like, okay, I'll always and forever always, look at birth charts. That'll always be a thing for me. But writing, like, I need to get back into writing. And reading, I'm very passionate about reading, like reading for entertainment reasons, not reading for research, not reading for school. And decorating, that's a passion of mine, and creating certain things, that's a passion of mine. If there's anything that I could suggest to the world and suggest to anybody, especially anybody that's going through some shit, or anybody that's feeling like their life is not where they want it to be or need to be, or they're just needing to either escape or close in, I find something that you're passionate about, and create, create through that passion. Whether it is singing, listening to music, driving, painting, drawing, animals, sex, it doesn't matter. Just do what you're passionate about, have a smile on your face, and just know that whenever you're doing stuff like that, you're doing it for yourself, you're doing it for yourself, and you're doing it to resonate out to the rest of us out here. It's like a ripple effect. So I cannot stress enough to indulge yourself in your passions, and activate that fifth house. And a lot of times when you activate that fifth house of love and passion, and just that center stage Leo love, that heart center stage Leo love, you activate that axis of the Aquarian, that cosmic universal love, and the networking of love, and just the gains. It's so much. And I think that we need to do that. We need to stay creative in our passions and just connect it all together. And I think that we would be a lot happier as a society and as individuals if we always grasp onto what made us happy, and not the false things that made us happy, but the things that actually just resonate through us in a positive way. And so get out there and learn what makes you happy, and always stay connected to what makes you happy. And remember, it can't be necessarily people, unless it's something like that's somewhat people related, but like just something that has to do with you, or even if it is with a person, make sure it's like a partner or something that's like a double creative thing that's joined in together. But this is Electrical Essence, and you guys have a good night, and I'll be back soon with Midnight with the Mechanic, another episode of the Rantings of the Rational Mind of Soldier Shane, and then we have
another night of Kill the Mechanic.
Another night of Kill the Mechanic, yes, with our third, because we have it's a threesome right now, so with mini mega, so, and that's gonna be good. I can't wait till we get some more of those episodes, and no more poop stuff. That's really gross.
Don't forget that the mechanic eats shit.
Yeah, oh yeah, the mechanic eats shit. So you guys have a good night.